Hello everyone, it's Shadow Libra. Here we are, year 10, the finale to this series. Today, we will review every FNAF release from August 8th, 2023 to August 7th, 2024. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Like, comment, subscribe, or else Chica will come to your house tonight while you are sleeping, and she will leave you alone with the cupcake. Trust me, you don't want that. How do you know what's imagined and what is not? After spending most of his life trying to become an animatronic, Billy wakes up in the hospital to an entirely new reality. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, reality can be worse than you could ever envision. B72, released on October 3rd, 2023. You know, not everything needs a sequel, and B7 proves it. B7 was a tragic yet also great ending to one of the best Tales stories. Seriously, I did not think the story needed to be continued, but then Billy survives almost dying, and he accidentally created an agony monster named B7. He lives with his grandma, goes to church, and his grandma lets B7 take her body, meaning she sacrificed herself for Billy. I was reading the story and thinking, wow, this is worse than Haps. I reread the first B7, and again, I quite enjoyed it. Genuinely a great story. I have a theory on why this sequel exists. I really wanted to avoid talking about the controversy with this story, but I'm gonna assume if you're watching, you know what it is, and I can't act like I'm ignorant to it. Basically, people accuse B7 of being an allegory for being transgender. Reading it twice, do I see the similarities? I will admit, yes, I do. Do I think it was the intention? No. FNAF has never really used those kinds of topics when it comes to a person's social identity regarding race, gender, sexual orientation, or whatever. That type of stuff has never been the main focus of a protagonist before. I mean, we've had some very religious protagonists, but that's about it. I doubt they'd start using those kinds of topics as the main focus in a random Tales from the Pizzaplex story of all things. What I think happened is Scott just thought a kid turning himself into a robot would make a creepy story, so he gave that concept to Andrea Wagoner. She wrote B7, and as we all know, there was a huge backlash. It was bad enough to the point where Andrea had to write a response to it. What I think happened next is Andrea told Scott about the backlash, and they were like, oh crap, people are badly misinterpreting this. So they rushed out B72 to give Billy a happy ending, and that's why B72 is a boring story. That's what I genuinely think happened. Well, this is the only controversial thing I'm reviewing in this video, at least. Nothing else, right? Right? How do you know what's imagined and what is not? Travis can't shake the feeling that something eerily familiar is haunting him. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, reality can be worse than you could ever envision. Alone Together, released on October 3rd, 2023. I love Alone Together. This story just decided to be peak for no reason. It's about a boy named Travis who is in a bit of a not so great relationship with his dad at the moment. They haven't spoken, while no one at school talks to him either. There's a school project Travis and his dad have been working on where they tried to build a wooden statue of Sun. Travis has also been caught up in the mystery of a dead boy in a cabin at his school. He had been trying to solve it for a while. The only people who talk to Travis are his grandma and a girl at school named Marissa. However, Marissa does not like Travis very much. After searching for the dead boy for a while, Travis finds the cabin and he finds the dead boy is him. Travis has been a ghost throughout the entire story, and he didn't realize. It was why his dad never talked to him anymore. It was why he could talk to his grandma. Travis's grandma is also a ghost. Marissa, the girl at school, is gifted. She can see the dead, but she isn't a fan of a dead ghost boy trying to be her friend, so she screams at him to go away. This story was very similar to a movie called The Sixth Sense, where the main character literally gets murdered in the opening of the movie, and the movie is full of hints that the man is dead, Yet somehow the movie is able to do it where you're surprised to find out he was dead the whole time. Literally the only character who talks to him is the kid who sees dead people throughout the entire movie and says that sometimes these people are unaware of being dead. Yet somehow the movie pulls it off and makes the audience feel dumb for not seeing the twist sooner. This story does something kind of similar. Again, I just love classic supernatural stories. The supernatural elements is what got me into FNAF in the first place. Alone Together was 100% worth reading. How do you know what's imagined and what is not? Nightmares make Rory's days and nights blend together until it's hard to tell what's what. In the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, reality can be worse than you could ever envision. Dittophobia, released on October 3rd, 2023. Find Player 2 is seen as the finale to Frights, which is kinda I mean, the story isn't bad by any means, it's just, it doesn't feel like a story you would use to end off an entire series of short stories. Dittophobia, on the other hand, does feel like a finale to a series of short stories. Dittophobia is massive if you're a theorist, and in general, it's just a cool story. It's about Rory, who is literally inside of the FNAF 4 bedroom, and every single night, Nightmare Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy come after him. Rory has no real life during the day. William Afton kidnapped Rory 10 years ago and put him into the experiment room. He then ran the experiment on Rory, where he drugged him up with fear gas and observed how Rory handled the nightmares without having any real life during the day. William did this because at the time he was trying to learn how the supernatural works, and he wanted to see if it's easy to manipulate the reality of the soul. William has done this experiment on a lot of kids, including his own son. Rory was his last victim for this, and he decided to leave Rory in the experiment rooms forever. The fear gas ran out, however, and Rory learned that the nightmare animatronics were just mannequins on rails. They only looked like they moved due to the fear gas. Rory leaves the experiment rooms, and we learn that those rooms are an area in Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals. The experiments take place in the exact same bunker as Sister Location. Rory explores Circus Babies, and he finds characters like Ballora, Funtime Foxy, and the other Funtimes. He finds a walkie-talkie where his friend Wade claims to be on the other end. William made an AI version of Rory's best friend in order to talk to Rory and manipulate him into doing stuff, which means Garrett's Fredbear plush in FNAF 4 was probably also programmed by William to make Garrett do things. Part of these experiments is William making a false friend for his victims. Wade leads Rory to the generators, allowing William himself to talk to Rory and convince him to get the gas back on and stay in the experiment rooms. Seriously, this was huge. I mean, Sister Location, in my opinion, made it obvious the nightmares were real, but I don't know, people just didn't care, I guess. But I'm glad Dittophobia exists so people can stop denying it. We also get info on what the experiments were. See how a child would react to living the same nightmare every night and have no real life during the day. It also explains what Garrett saw in FNAF 4 that made him terrified of the animatronics. He saw the nightmares. Dittophobia also pretty much confirms William Afton is the one behind the Fredbear plush, and that William is the mysterious speaker in FNAF World, who guides Adventure Freddy to find the clocks to put Garrett's soul back together, just like William had promised Garrett before he died. Garrett's soul is put back together in the way William wants. The 4 plushies Garrett has in FNAF 4, in FNAF World's ending, Garrett's soul is reminded by his dad that the plushies are his friends. The missing children possess the animatronics Garrett has plushies of, making Garrett see the kids as his friends, which also lines up with the movie where Garrett's soul is at Freddy's and he is friends with the missing children. The movie novelization even shows us that Garrett's soul is influenced by William Afton, just like the other children. Wow, Dittophobia and the movie were huge parts in finally having set beliefs on Garrett. Thank you, Dittophobia, for being an amazing finale to Tales from the Pizzaplex. I'm glad there's no other tales to review. Oh, fuck! bored and wanting something fun to do, Lucia, Adrian, Jace, Hope, Kelly, Joel, Wade, and Nick ditch the amusement park and instead check out the construction site at the old Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Something big is being built on top of it. The friend group breaks into the pizzeria to check it out, but little do they know, their actions, which they see as some friends having fun, will have some extreme consequences. The Mimic Slashers started on July 19th, 2022, ended on October 3rd, 2023. I love the Stitch Rave Stingers. I always looked forward to them whenever a Frights book came out. I've reread the Stingers many times, and oh, this is about the slashers. The tales from the Pizzaplex epilogues are, excuse my language, ass. Actually, no, calling the epilogues ass is too hard on other media that is ass. The epilogues are so much worse than that. Ready for the greatest story ever told? Almost as good as Haps. A group of teens break into the remains of the FNAF 6 location. The Mimic kills most of them, but one escapes. Boom, that's it. That's the whole story. Doesn't help that when reading these, I did not give a damn about any of these characters because there was nothing interesting about them for me to care about. As a matter of fact, before writing my description for the slashers, I had to look up the characters' names because I did not remember a good chunk of them. Ask me any traits about these characters, I guarantee I will not be able to answer your question. Bro, when I reread Tales earlier this year, I literally skipped the epilogues because no way in hell I'm reading that again. Anyway, let's talk about Chica in Space. Chica in Space, released on October 18th, 2023. This release is very special to me personally because it came out on my 19th birthday. I had nothing else going on that day, but the release of the new FNAF game made it one of the most memorable birthdays ever. What made it even better is the game is free. Thanks, Scott. Anyway, the controls are a lot easier than Freddy in Space, and the different maps were fun to play through. I played this game on a Discord call with the Literal Remnant chat. Seriously, these guys are the best. By the end of it, we got the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza security footage, a 9-minute long video meant to tease the movie. And oh my gosh, the hype for the movie was real after that. Chica in Space, I only have good memories with. I should replay it sometime. Alright guys, I am going to a grocery store because I want pepperoni flavored soda. That sounds disgusting, but that is what we're gonna go get. So let's go. The first ingredient to pepperoni flavored soda, pepperoni. This is cringe. If you buy this, you're a loser. Alright, the second ingredient to pepperoni flavored soda is, you know, soda. Alright, that's all the ingredients, so let's just take this home. Alright, time to make the pepperoni soda. Let's get some pepperoni slices in there.
I don't know.
And then then you do this. Pour in the Coca-Cola. And then you do some magic. A gubernatorial. There you have it. Pepperoni flavored soda. This look... What the heck is that? What is that? No way! that Freddy Fazbear? Hey, I'm a huge fan. Can't believe I'm actually meeting you. You're very tall in person. You're tall. Okay, you're getting a little too close. You're getting so close. The Cookbook, released on October 24th, 2023. The official Five Nights at Freddy's Cookbook. Fun fact about it, this was suggested by a fan. Reddit user @WitsEnd made a post on the FNAF subreddit that there should be an official cookbook, to which Scott himself responded that it was a great idea and he would contact Scholastic. Seriously, shout out to @WitsEnd. That must be awesome that you're the reason an official FNAF product exists. That's amazing. As for the recipes, I haven't made all of them because there is quite a lot, but here is a list of the ones I have made. Freddy Fazbear's Pepperoni Express, Bonnie's Ultimate Burger, L Chip's Fully Loaded Tortillas, Bellora's Salmon Burger, Ned Bear's Popping Chicken Bites, Fazzer Blast Pulled Pork Tacos, Glamrock Freddy's Fully Loaded Hot Dogs, Balloon Boy's Chicken and Chorizo Fajitas, Bonnie's Buddha Bowl, Eggs Benedict with Glamrock Glamour, Dancing Rabbit Lady's Sizzling Churros, and Soda-Roni Slushy. Anywho, these recipes are genuinely really good. I'm not just saying that, these recipes are absolutely delicious. My favorite from the ones I listed is the pulled pork tacos. I think it's awesome they gave us a cookbook that had the recipes of Freddy's. I'm satisfied with this, and I do plan to cook more of it in the future.
Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Give me your hand.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them. In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Happy? Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late.
Robbie, go!
Where to? Why do I always get the weirdos?
The Five Nights at Freddy's movie, released on October 27th, 2023. While Five Nights at Freddy's has had many projects in the course of its 10 years, something that was in the background for the entirety of those 10 years was the movie. It was announced in 2015 that Warner Brothers would be making a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. However, when it came to how they were treating the franchise, Scott did not like what they were doing with it. It did not match his vision of the FNAF story. He felt a lot of fans would not have been happy with the way Warner Brothers' FNAF movie was looking like. So in 2017, Scott managed to take away the movie rights and instead it went to Blumhouse. And let me say, I am so happy that Warner Brothers did not make the movie because they always just look at what will make bank and not put any care in the projects they do at all. Need examples? You know, the live-action Batman movies, which fans constantly point out how this is not accurate to the character. Those were all produced by Warner Brothers. I've heard that the newest live-action Batman, Robert Pattinson, was the first time the movies actually gave an accurate version of the character on the big screen. It's insane that there's been so many Batman movies before it and it took this long. I've also heard Superman has never been adapted well either. Also, a more recent example, Warner Brothers is releasing the Minecraft movie coming out next year, and I and many other Minecraft fans have watched the trailer and oh boy, I do not have much hope for this movie, nor do most Minecrafters. Personally, I don't even plan on watching the movie, but if people are saying they are pleasantly surprised, I'll give it a chance. However, from what I've seen from the set and the trailer, I doubt that's happening. It's a shame because I like Minecraft, but the movie does not look like it's worth seeing. Anyway, when making a movie based on an already existing property, you need to be careful because it's guaranteed that fans of said property will want to check it out. You need to make something that appeals to them and something that follows the source material. You cannot just do whatever you want with these type of things. You can make your own story out of it, yes, but you have to make sure if you go that route that it still follows the universe of the property you are messing with. This is a huge part of why the movie took almost an entire decade to make. Scott wanted to make sure this movie follows the universe he created. I remember in 2020, Scott revealed many scrapped screenplays of the FNAF movie, and oh boy, I am so happy a lot of these did not become the official movie. Plushies taking Manhattan, teenagers building animatronics for the military. That is not FNAF. I think some screenplays would have been cool, like the Silver Eye screenplay and the Cassidy screenplay. However, I can see why those are scrapped too. If the movie was just an adaptation of the Silver Eyes, then it would not have been an original story, and the Cassidy screenplay, while cool in concept, would be a giant lore encyclopedia and not an actual story. Scott realized with how much FNAF story there is, he obviously can't do it all in one movie. Apparently people did try that. Some people tried writing a master script that had like every character and every game and it would be just the whole FNAF timeline, to which Scott said, no, we don't need the FNAF movie to be like 5 or 6 hours long. There is no way to fit every single thing into one movie. However, that does seem to be when Scott made a decision that makes a lot of sense. Why don't we just focus this movie on the first game specifically? Think about it, the very first game skyrocketed almost immediately after being launched back in 2014. Literally no one knew who Scott Cawthon was until he released the first FNAF game, and then everyone went crazy for it. People loved the first game. It makes sense to have the movie be about the game that kicked off the entire franchise. With that, Scott and Blumhouse then realized the movie should follow the story of Mike Schmidt, the guy we play as in the first game. Things fell into place really well after that, I feel like. The movie was directed by Emma Tommy, and she didn't really know much of FNAF before making the movie. However, she said she did play through the first game before working on the movie, and she wrote the script with Scott. Then things went on from there. Personally, I think with FNAF 1, it is really easy to mold it into your own story, which seems to be what the movie did. The only aspects of a FNAF 1 movie that you must use are the FNAF 1 pizzeria and animatronics, 5 missing children. The children had to be lured by the owner of the restaurant, William Afton, while he was dressed up as Spring Bonnie. The kids were lured and stuffed in the animatronics, causing their spirits to possess the animatronics. The date the kids were killed had to be at the very least 1 decade ago. The kids must be unaware of the fact they are dead and instead think they are just able to control the animatronics. The kids have to have a distrusting of adults and attack adults because they think adults are out to get them. The kids should still be trusting of other kids. Kids should be safe from the animatronics while adults are not. The kids must not remember who hurt them and how. William has to have influence over the kids' spirits to make them think the way they do, but only when he wears the spring Bonnie suit. Golden Freddy should not show up as much as the other 4 animatronics, and he should be the most supernatural. The pizzeria itself should have its own consciousness. The animatronics should kill lots of night security guards, and lastly, the main character must be a night security guard. The FNAF movie did all of those. The actors in this movie did a fantastic job with their characters too. Josh Hutcherson playing Mike Schmidt worked out great. He was able to come off as a guy with a lot of guilt towards what happened to his brother in the past. He keeps coming back to Freddy's to connect to Garrett. He wants to redeem himself for his past mistakes, just like Michael Afton in the FNAF games. There is some debate on one change made to the movie, which is we all know in the games Mike is William's son. However, this ended up not being the case for the movie. However, this actually does not bother me, because when you look at Mike's motivations in the movie, it still matches with what we know about Michael in the games. As a matter of fact, for so long, I felt like I understood Michael's motives for working in FNAF 2, 3, Sister Location, and Pizza Sim. However, what always bugged me is FNAF 1. I could never think of a good explanation for why Michael worked there until the movie. The movie says Mike keeps going back to Freddy's because he senses Garrett's soul at the pizzeria and he wants to connect with his brother. So I go with that. I believe in the FNAF 1 game, Michael wants to connect with Garrett because that's what the movie says. Speaking of Garrett, we finally got an official name for the Crying Child. For years, Afton's youngest son was just referred to as Crying Child with no official name until the movie came out and said his name is Garrett. Thanks, movie. Elizabeth Lail did great as Vanessa too. Like the games, Vanessa is manipulated by her father, William Afton, into doing things for him, but Vanessa is a reluctant follower. She doesn't want to be doing all this stuff for her father, but she feels she has no choice. Speaking of William Afton, Matthew Lillard, S tier. William Afton is a man with no love for anyone except himself. He has way too much pride in himself, and he loves giving in to his cruel pleasures with his sadistic nature. Matthew Lillard in the movie playing Afton, he has lots of pride when wearing the Yellow Rabbit suit. You can see that when he gives his speech to Mike. First I killed your brother, now I kill you. He is going to give in to his sadistic nature when he screams, "This is gonna be so much fun. The little ones tell me you have a sister," as he pulls out his knife. William also gets mad when people don't do what he wants. For example, when his daughter Vanessa turns on him, William lashes out by choking her and stabbing her, his own daughter. William also views the missing children in the animatronics as his family. In the movie, while he doesn't say family, he treats them as exactly that. William wears the suit and becomes one of them. Also, there's the fact that William seems like a normal guy when he's not doing evil stuff, which I think Matthew Lillard pulled off when William went under the name Steve Raglan. Speaking of which, William used a fake identity to not be detected as William Afton in the movie, just like in FNAF 2 and the Silver Eyes. Holy crap, this was a very, 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 very accurate William Afton on screen. That makes me happy. Let's talk about the animatronics. Something I've wondered up to the release of this movie is how will they have the animatronics kill people without presenting them as evil? Because it's important to note that the animatronics are not evil. They are possessed by kids who are just hurt. They're in a scared and confused state of mind. How do we make that clear? Well, we have the Vandal scene where a group of violent adults break into the pizzeria, trash the place, disrespect the place. If you were a kid and a bunch of adults you did not recognize broke into your home and just absolutely destroyed everything, you'd be afraid, right? The kids fight back against the vandals because the vandals are literally destroying their home. Then we get things like the fort scene. These kids haven't had human interactions outside of their group for years. Then they got Abby and Mike visiting them and building forts with them, playing with them. It's wholesome because these kids get to be kids again and not have to worry about other things. We are also shown the drawing of the yellow rabbit with the children many times throughout the movie, so it's clear that these kids are being manipulated. They too are victims. And when Abby shows what really happened, the manipulation wears off. My point is, the movie portrayed the animatronics as kids, victims who had their lives unfortunately stolen from them, who do the things they do out of manipulation and fear. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie is a much more linear version of the story we all fell in love with. I truly do think every character adapted into this movie followed their personalities from the games and books, along with having the same motivations. I am satisfied with how the movie turned out. Thank you, Scott, thank you, Emma, thank you, Jason, and thank you, Blumhouse. The movie's story is planned to be a trilogy. I cannot wait to see what movies 2 and 3 have in store for us. It's also cool how the next release after the movie is my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Time to clock in. The first day at a new job can be daunting, anxiety-inducing, and downright terrifying. Fazbear Entertainment is different. We are invested in you. At a Fazbear location, you are given the opportunity to find your lane. What interests you? Customer service? Technical support? Safety and security? Game testing? Perhaps test driving one of our ride attractions. Maybe you are more suited to glamour and fashion with service to the stars. Try a little of everything and find what speaks to you. Whatever it may be, there's only one way to find out. Now accepting applications.
Help Wanted 2, released on December 14th, 2023. This is the second VR game in the FNAF franchise, and let me just say, FNAF as a series works incredibly well with VR. We have a total of 16 games, and Help Wanted 2 is my favorite out of all of them. Like the Help Wanted 1 video, I will review this game category by category, mainly because I think that this is the best way to organize this sort of game. The first category is Backstage, which has Arts and Crafts Daycare, Salon Staff Makeover, Salon Glam Makeover, Salon Roxy Repair, and Arts and Crafts Loft. The daycare level is pretty fun. It's literally just doing things like your own paintings or making a paper pal while Sun watches over you and gives you a time limit. The watch ticks very, very fast, making the game stressful, but you have more time than it sounds like when playing the game. The staff bot beauty level is pretty funny. I like just putting random makeup on the staff bots. The Roxy beauty level can be a bit stressful though. You have to make sure as you put on Roxy's makeup that you pay attention to her, that she's the star. Don't look away for too long. The Ruin Roxy level is sad. You can tell how upset Roxy is when it comes to her new state of existence. The dark version of the Arts and Crafts level is scary. You have to do all the same stuff you do in the normal daycare level, but this time you must constantly be on guard as Moon is after you. You must always keep your flashlight charged and have it out so Moon cannot get too close. Next category is Food Prep. This one has El Chips, Pizza Pizza Pizza, and Fazbear Theater. The El Chips level gives me flashbacks from working at Firehouse Subs. They always want you to be super quick with the orders. I like shooting staff bots in the face with the sauce gun whenever they try to rush me. The pizza level is fun too. I actually like making pizza for Glamrock Chica, even if she is threatening to kill me, if I don't. The Fazbear Theater one is a little meh in my opinion, it just feels like the pizza level again. Next category is staff only, which has cold storage, first aid pig patch, first aid lefty, first aid scrap baby, Fizzy Faz Night 1, Fizzy Faz Night 2, Fizzy Faz Night 3, Fizzy Faz Night 4, Fizzy Faz Night 5, and Endo Warehouse. Cold storage is fun because you get to do repairs on Glamrock Freddy. The first time I saw Glamrock Freddy in VR, I went out to hug him. I love Glamrock Freddy. First aid pig patch gets you used to the first aid levels, but it's not very replayable because pig patch doesn't move much. But the Lefty and Scrap Baby levels are terrifying. I'm just trying to repair Helpy, but no, Scrap Baby and Lefty want to kill me because I injured Helpy or something. Those two coming out of the vents towards you is crazy to watch. The Fizzy Faz levels are pretty fun. Nights 1, 2, and 3 are pretty easy. Night 4 is a bit more challenging. Then, I don't know why, but Night 5 feels impossible. I mean, I've beaten it, but it always takes me forever. I love the Endo Warehouse level though. I think it's scary. The next category is Fazcade, which has Bonkabon Bonus Round, Bonkabon, DJ Music Time Beginner, DJ Music Time Advanced, Bonnie Bowl, Fazzer Blast, Fazzer Blast Western, DJ Music Time Pro, Fazzer Blast FNAF 1, Fazzer Blast FNAF 2, and Fazzer Blast FNAF 3. Bonkabon is fun because I like hitting the crap out of Bonbon. Yes, but also guess who I also get to beat the crap out of and hit with mallets? Plush Baby. Yeah, screw you, Plush Baby. I get to beat the crap out of you with this mallet in this level. The Plush Babies always torture me in the first help wanted, so I have a special connection to the Bonkabon level. The DJ Music Man levels are enjoyable. I like matching the music pattern with Music Man. Also, you all thought DJ Music Man was huge when playing Security Breach? Bro, check out his size when playing Help Wanted 2. This guy is ginormous. The way he just absolutely towers above you is crazy. Seeing Ruin DJ Music Man is pretty scary for VR, even if you know he isn't going to hurt you. I love the Fazzer Blast levels. I get to shoot targets and overall just have a good time, but you know who else I get to shoot? That's right, the Plush Baby. Yeah, screw you, Plush Baby. The FNAF 3 Fazzer Blast level is a completely different experience compared to the other ones. I always find myself on guard, searching not just for Plush Baby, but also I'm constantly trying to find Springtrap. The level is kind of cool because it feels like the father and daughter are teaming up on you, even if it's just a plushie and a cardboard cutout. I also like the environment in this level being a burned down Fazzer Blast. The category after that is Ticket Booth. This one has Carousel, Captain Foxy's Log Ride, and Cinder Carousel. Carousel is my favorite Help Wanted 2 level because I love the stress of trying to repair the thing while Moon hunts you down. The hard mode also introduces us to Jacko Moon. The Foxy's Log Ride level is cool because we get to see what the log flume from Ruin looked like. I love water rides, so I'd have a blast going on a ride like this in real life. The last category is Sister Location. This one has Ballora Gallery, Breaker Room Hard Reset, Office Private Room, Office Puppet Master, Office Funtime Gang, and Office Job Interview. Ballora Gallery was fine in Sister Location, but the VR version of it is scary. I am literally screaming whenever I play it because I hate seeing Ballora right in front of me. It feels like one wrong move and I'm dead. Breaker Room is also super scary in VR. Seeing Funtime Freddy get closer and closer to you as you reset everything, I always find myself constantly looking around, panicking to play the audio in his direction. I do think it's cool that the hard version of this mode brought back Yendo. I enjoy the private room level. I like seeing Enter charge at me through the doors and the vents. Same with Ballora in her level, and I like avoiding Funtime Freddy, Bonbon, Funtime Chica, and Funtime Foxy all at the same time. It's like playing FNAF 1 against the Funtime version of all the classics. Then the job interview, where Baby gives us lots of games to play against the plush babies. The environment is creepy. Also, the ending is Baby literally offering us an ice cream cone. I assumed this would go wrong, but no, Baby did not kill us. That's a relief. The last part in this game is Princess Quest 4. The Princess Quest stuff is one of my favorite parts in Security Breach, so I'm glad we got to do another one. And you get to play as the princess in first person, moving around with the sword and killing glitch trap monsters. It is so freaking fun! Speaking of glitch trap, Help Wanted 2 is the end of him. Remember how I said Helpy goes offline in Ruin? Well, it's because Helpy is glitch trapped, and this moment in Help Wanted 2 has occurred. Glitch Trap is now freaking dead. In other news about Glitch Trap, we do learn throughout the game we are Cassie's dad and that we give Cassie the Vanny mask at the end. Yeah, that's messed up. We unknowingly lead our daughter to her doom. Anyway, Help Wanted 2 has lots of fun levels. Nice job, Steelwool. That's now 3 awesome games from Steelwool, with a 4th on the way. Help Wanted was perfection, Curse of Dreadbear was a spooky Halloween game, Security Breach was a unique game, Ruin was insane but lovable, and Help Wanted 2 is super fun. Can't wait to see what Secret of the Mimic will be like.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where fantasy and fun come to life. Hit it, guys. If you're watching this video, it means you've been selected as Freddy's newest security guard.
Hello?
We're going to have so much fun together.
The Five Nights at Freddy's movie novelization, released on December 26, 2023. So this novel is pretty much the exact same story as the movie, but written down on paper. I like it because we learn specific thoughts Mike or other characters have in specific scenes. We learn the missing kids also visit Abby in her dreams. We learn that Max has a crush on Mike, Mike has a crush on Vanessa. We learn Garrett's soul is influenced like the other kids. We learn that Mike's mom wanted to have another kid to replace Garrett after he was kidnapped, but since Abby was a girl, the mom spiraled out of control and took her own life, while Mike's dad just packed his stuff the day Mike turned 18 and left without telling anyone where he went. It's weird because Mike's dad is still alive, but no one in the Schmidt family knows where he is. It feels like they might be setting something up with that. We also learn that Mike and Abby's grandpa has a trust fund left for Abby when he dies. Aunt Jane wants the money in that trust fund, which is why she is so obsessed with having custody of Abby. Also, Bonnie gives Abby a piggyback ride. The movie novel is a good read. What are you running from? Liam and Drew's expose about their boss leaves them in for a rude awakening. But in the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, our deepest fears and desires have a way of chasing us. Monster, released on July 9th, 2024. So this guy named Drew freaking hates his boss, the kind old man, so he likes to write stories that he mistreats his employees and he's greedy, and then people start to boycott his pizzeria. Then the kind old man wants to burn his pizzeria down, but he doesn't go through with it. So Drew breaks into the pizzeria and burns the whole place down, as the kind old man burns alive with it, and then it's revealed Drew is a demon. Drew laughs for like 20 pages in a row, and then as the pizzeria burns down, Drew and the kind old man die. And the smoke shapes itself into devil horns as the crowd watching the burning pizzeria cheer because the random old man is dead. That's a monster. Get ready for an all-new Five Nights at Freddy's experience. You, the reader, are Devin, and you've won VIP passes to the hottest place in town, Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. These all-you-can-eat, all-expenses-paid tickets are guided by digital companion, Very Informative Pig, and are every kid's dream. But does your VIP host have something more sinister in mind? With multiple endings and 2 difficulty settings, this one-of-a-kind free ebook is a uniquely entertaining experience for any Freddy fan, and the perfect way to get ready for the September 2024 launch of interactive novel The Week Before. VIP, released on August 3rd, 2024. The start of the newest book series. Well, technically The Week Before, which I will make a video on. Don't worry, that video is coming. I know the hype is dead already, but whatever. VIP is book 0. It's a special book. This book is an interactive novel, meaning you make the decisions. It's kind of like playing a video game, but you know, you're reading a book. Anyway, VIP has you at the Pizzaplex with your annoying little brother. You both have VIP passes and are guided by a very informative pig. Your brother wants to spend the entire day in Bonnie Bowl, and if you do that, well, everyone lives. Nothing bad happens, but let's say you abandon your brother. Well, now stuff will get bad. The very informative pig will get big mad and kidnap your brother. To save your brother, you have to go through different areas of the Pizzaplex like Bazzer Blast, Roxy Raceway, the arcade, Monty's Maze. You have to gather up more and more points in order to save your brother. You can get the bare minimum amount of points you need and go home, or you can go all out and access a secret area where you find many kids that Very Informative Pig has kidnapped and locked up in a room, and each of these kids died by starving to death while locked up. Or instead of finding that, you can find Very Informative Pig's hideout and kill him. Very Informative Pig, VIP. Get it? Anyway, I had fun reading this, or should I say, playing this story. There's many different endings, and I also thought The Week Before was really good too. I cannot wait for future interactive novels. The other 2 that are currently announced are Return to the Pit and Escape the Pizzaplex. I see a lot of potential in these types of books.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a massive place for kids and fun of the life, where fantasy and fun of the life.
Into the Pit, released on August 7th, 2024. The final FNAF release, well, not ever, but the final FNAF release from the first 10 years. My only question after playing Into the Pit is, can we please get more FNAF games like this? This game has you go to Freddy's every single night where you see kids stuck in the worst situations. This kid was stuffed inside of a spring lock suit, while this kid is literally locked inside of a freezer. Oswald has these extremely creepy visions when not in the ball pit, as if the world around him is warping. The yellow rabbit chases are terrifying. I'm pretty sure Eleanor did the nasty with Oswald's mother, and I just thought this was a really cool way to turn the Into the Pit story into a game. I was wondering what it would be like because I'm sure turning a book into a video game is a little difficult, but Mega Cat did it really well with Into the Pit. They also littered the game with references to other Fright stories like To Be Beautiful, Count the Ways, Fetch, Lonely Freddy, Kids at Play, and I'm sure there's a lot more. Good job, Mega Cat, for making a pretty scary FNAF game. Help Wanted and FNAF 4 are still the scariest games in the series, but Into the Pit is up there. It has the type of tone I want FNAF to have, which is a darker and edgier tone, though most of Fright's is already like that. Thank you all for watching. Based on how long the script is and how long I've been recording, I'm gonna make a bet and assume the year 10 video will be longer than any of the videos before it, and I am only gonna leave this part in if that ends up being true. I'm okay with that. That makes year 10 feel special. Nah, I'll probably leave it in, rather it's the longest or not, screw it. But I think we had some pretty solid releases for year 10, except for Monster. Thank you all for sticking with these videos. My favorite FNAF year 10 release is the movie. Of course it's the movie. We waited almost that whole 10 years for it, and it very, very much delivered. Seriously, I cannot wait to see what they do with the sequel coming out in 2025. Thank you all for watching these 10-year videos. Bye, bye, bye.